everyone and happy Monday. This is Smitha. I am glamsmitty on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and I came back with another Clionadh video because tomorrow, the 16th, there is going to be a new launch. We have the Deep Sea Treasures palette launching at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and I am just gonna pull up the Clionadh Instagram page for all of the details. This palette has 8 multi-chrome shadows, and these are all pans that are the same size as the standard stained glass pans, and they are removable. You can use a magnet or a little spatula in the little indentation and add and remove shades to customize a palette. But yes, this palette is going to be launching tomorrow, and there's also going to be 3 nail polishes available as well. These are a mini set of 3 shades, including Ring of Fire, Sunken Treasure, and Cephalopod, which are going to be about $15 US a piece, or sold in a bundle. Let's see if I can find the price of the bundle. I can't find the price of the bundle, but I believe that the polishes are available as a bundle, or at least a bundle with the palette. If you decide you want everything, the palette and the nail polishes, that will be $106 US dollars, or 142 Canadian dollars. Yes, so hopefully I didn't misstate anything, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video up quickly because I know that people do like to see video content before making a purchase, which I completely and totally understand. My pans are untouched because I haven't done my photo swatches yet, but anyway, so this is going to be like live swatches. I have seen swatches on Instagram and on the Clionadh website already, so lots of content already. But in case you wanted to see my swatches as well, swatches on a medium deep complexion, then hopefully you'll find this to be useful. And also this palette is code eligible, as is everything from these new launch items, as well as older stained glass shadows. So you can use my code, which is just my username glamsmitty, to save if you would like. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. All right, and before we go on, also I want to correct something I said about the polishes. It's the trio that is available for approximately $15. They're mini nail polishes, so that is, they are sold as a bundle of 3 minis. So anyway, so the first shadow in this collection that I'm going to swatch is Saltwater Pearl. And Saltwater Pearl, I believe this is an iridescent shadow. It looks like it is. And it is very smooth in its texture. Oh, so pretty. And I'm seeing kind of like greenish blue shifts. This looks to me like the type of shade that, while you could layer it over another shadow, it does have a good opacity, so it could be worn on its own, on the inner corner as well. So it looks like this is going to be quite a versatile shadow. So that is Saltwater Pearl. The next one is the bends. Let's take a look. So this is sort of like kind of like light green base with, it looks like sort of pinky shifts in it. So let's see that. So there it is, swatched on the back of the hand. I love greens with pink shift. And this looks like it'll be a really beautiful, soft kind of a shade. What's interesting about this palette is just how much variety you get. I know I've heard other people say this, that so as of right now, these shadows are not available as singles. I don't know if, you know, potentially that would change in the future, but just something to keep in mind if, you know, only a few shades are calling to you, that yes, these are currently being sold as a set. But next shadow is Fool's Gold. I do love a gold shadow, especially a special gold shadow, and you get a lot of interesting gold shadows from Clionadh. So there's Fool's Gold on the finger. It's kind of like a little bit of a, it's very bright, but it looks like it has like, you know, sort of green and gold properties in it. There it is, swatched on the back of the hand. A little bit of bronze in there too. Next shadow is Kelp Forest. And I've already seen people make some really pretty looks with this shadow. Super interesting shade, kind of like a grungy green with sort of, like, I wasn't expecting to see such strong blue shifts, but that's the fun of swatching multi-chromes. Hopefully we'll be able to see that on camera there. Yeah, right there. You see a pretty strong, like, sort of murky blue shift in it. So that is Kelp Forest. And then this is probably the shade that I'm most excited about, Ring of Fire. This is a perfect name for this shade, but it is sort of like a red-based shadow with orange and yellow shift in it. I think the name is absolutely perfect, but I think the shadow will really flatter my skin tone. I'm really excited to use it in a look. So there it is, swatched on the hand, or sorry, on the wrist there. And then the next shade is Cephalopod. Oh, that's so pretty. This reminds me ever so slightly of sort of like a little bit darker version of Adornment, which if you did happen to watch the video that I created yesterday with my fantasy like bundle of 10 shades starter like bundle, Clionadh bundle, then you know that I really love the shade Adornment. You have kind of a pinkish base with a greenish yellow shift. In this shadow, I am seeing that type of shift. It looks like it has a little bit more It's a little bit deeper than Adornment, and it maybe has a little bit more opacity in its base, but definitely similar vibes. Next shadow is Shipwreck. I was really excited to swatch this as well. The first shadow that came to mind like this is, I don't know if anyone remembers, but the shadow that came out a couple of years ago from Terra Moons called Blood Moon. It has a really, really deep base with sort of a reddish shift to it, and I do feel like that's kind of what I'm seeing. Shall We makeup has a shadow kind of like that as well. The name of that shadow is escaping me a little bit. And, you know, I think my lighting could be a little bit better for seeing that. So I think we may see it better in my like swatch photos, but yeah, this is a super interesting shade, and I'm really happy to see that we have one from Clionadh like this. So, and this doesn't feel like it's black based. I think the shadows from Terra Moons and Shall We are black based multichromes, if I remember correctly. And the last shade in this palette is called Scuba. Ooh, this is so pretty. Really shifty, kind of like blurple base with kind of like an aqua and a lighter purple shift to it. And there it is swatched on the wrist. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you all some macro footage of the shadows and swatches on my eyes, and then we will come back in a few minutes to wrap up with some initial thoughts about the palette. First, we have Saltwater Pearl, which is so incredibly reflective. I just think this name is perfect for the shadow. Next, we have the Benz, which has this beautiful green flip. Look at that. Next, we have Fool's Gold, which is this perfect grungy gold. Next, we have Kelp Forest. It's a really kind of vibrant green shadow. My personal favorite, which is Ring of Fire. Look at that golden orange shift. Next, we have Cephalopod, and this is the shade that I said reminds me of Adornment, like a darker version, which is probably why I like it so much. Next, we have Shipwreck, which reminds me of Blood Moon from Terra Moons. Check out the reddish shift on this. And last, we have Scuba, which is this beautiful navy shade with kind of a lighter bluish shift. All right, now that we've had a chance to do some swatches, give some information about the palette and the launch tomorrow, I hope you found this video helpful. I know that I didn't have, as much time as I would have liked to, do a deep dive on this launch, but I will be sharing more content about it. I've been a customer of Clionadh for quite some time. I want to say they may have been the first brand that I ever tried multi-chromes from, so I've been a long-time customer. I really love the stained glass line. I love that this is their first palette where we're actually getting shadows that are the same size as the stained glass collection, with the intention that people will use it to kind of flip in and out their existing collection. And there are certain pans actually from Viseart as well that are this size too. So if you do own Viseart, then that is something to keep in mind. That there are pans, like it's their larger pan size, that actually fit in, like they're the exact same size as these Clionadh pans. So another cool thing or possibility with these as well. But anyway, like I was saying, I've been a long time lover of the stained glass shadows and of Clionadh in general, so I'm very excited about this release. I think that there's a lot of shades here that are unique to Clionadh. I think it's a very versatile palette, and yeah, I think people are gonna love it. But you know, I do understand, like, it may not be for everyone, especially if, you know, you don't like a certain type of shade. You have light and really dark multi-chromes here. So, you know, I could see that if there are a number of shadows here that aren't really, you know, you don't feel like you are, they suit you, then I could see that, you know, this may not be something that would speak to you. But anyway, if you're looking to try Clionadh for the first time, this could be a really great way to try out a bunch of different formulas. However, I also did make a video yesterday of some of my top, like a starter kit to Clionadh stained glass. So you might find that helpful, maybe if this palette in particular is not calling to you, or if you're just looking to pick your own shadows from Clionadh and you haven't tried them before. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I hope you found this video helpful, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.